Hey, Adriana.
Hi, Miss Sparks.
How are you, honey? Have you been there long?
Oh no, I got here like 5 seconds ago.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm playing with my calculator, so I was like engrossed because there is ways to do summations on the calculator. So I was trying to see if they were easier.
Mhm.
Arithmetic are easier, but geometric, woo, girl. I think I'd just soon do them the long way and even with the fraction.
Wow.
Oh, if that tells you anything. I don't know. I'm going to keep looking for videos.
On the calculator thing? Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd probably be helpful.
Yeah. But it's the for the arithmetic, I mean, it's pretty easy, but it's one of those things. This calculator is so powerful, but if you don't put it in exactly right, it can be your worst enemy.
Mm. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
That's the one tricky
You
thing.
want me to go through forward to back or back to forward for the seven for with the review?
I already started on the front, so forward is fine.
Okay, because I was going to say the harder ones are at the back, and I just wanted to make sure we got time to hit them. But because I felt like the front was pretty easy, which will be sweet for the exam tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, okay. Determine the sequence. Do you want me to start right at the top?
I got through number 7. 7
Okay.
is where I got slightly confused because I saw no pattern with the first and second.
4, 5, 6, and 7.
No, for just number 7.
Oh, oh, okay. I got you. I got you. All right. This is what I know. This is what I always do just to kind of confirm I'm going in the right direction because sometimes the patterns don't seem quite as visible.
Mhm.
So, since we know that we're dealing with an arithmetic sequence, because of, where we are in the review, but um always what I do is I just take that second term and subtract the first. And then I do that with the third and the third and the second to confirm that it is in
Oh,
fact a
oh,
sequence.
oh, obviously. Okay, never mind. I didn't realize it was a positive 7 going to a negative 93, which would obviously make it 100, but I just didn't think about that.
I I completely understand. So then it would be negative, let's see, negative 393, negative 493, and negative 593 for the next three terms.
Okay, that's what I got.
Okay. And then how are you on finding the formula? Just want to start from there and me just
Um,
go ahead and work them out?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Okay, once again, what I typically do, I'm going to go ahead and find my common difference up above number 8 by taking the second term and subtracting the first, which is going to give me a common difference of 30. And then I just kind of take a quick glance at my third to my second just to confirm, and it is 30. So then I plug in what I know into the formula, which is AN equals the first term, which in this case is 14, plus the common difference, which in this case is 30, times n minus 1. And then you distribute that 30, which is going to be 14, plus 30n minus 30. So now what I have is I'm going to combine my like terms within that. So I have my final formula as 30n, and then a negative 30 plus 14 is going to be a negative 16. So the explicit formula for this one is AN equals 30n minus 16.
Okay, that's what I got.
Yay!
Yeah, I always just forget whenever we do chapters or lessons where obviously you like expand upon the concept. So I
Mm-hmm.
totally forgot what the formula was for arithmetic as opposed
Amen.
to geometric. So I was like, oh, that's great.
I know, and because to me, once you hit that geometric, to me, the geometric one is so much easier because there's less processing,
Right.
and
This quiz gonna-
I think, was it you that said in class or was it somebody else that said in class that it just seemed too simple to be right?
That was me.
Yeah, I was like, I so felt that. Uh, okay. So on this one,
Wait 1 second.
yes.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
No problem. So number 9, we'll look at the common difference and we'll take that second term and subtract the first term. Whoops. So that's going to give us a negative 35 minus a minus 38, which is plus 38, which is going to give us a common difference of 3. I'm just going to confirm if I did that with negative 32 to negative 35, would it be the same? And in fact, it would. So our common difference is going to be 3. And then I'll plug that back into our formula. I'm going to move my common difference over here. Plug that back into our formula. AN equals, then our first term, which is negative 38, plus, and then the common difference is 3 times n minus 1. And then negative, I'm sorry, I'm kind of laughing a little bit because, of course, as usual, it must be something about math lab that makes my dachshunds, my long-eared dachshund, sleep, but he is snoring so loud.
That's what that is. I can hear it.
And it kind of cracks me up
I
because
just didn't know if you were having like respiratory issues. I was just
I'm like, is Miss Sparks going to make it through math
like, are you okay?
lab today? No, it's my dachshund sleeping behind me.
Uh,
So it was kind of making me laugh. Sorry about that. So I distributed this 3, which was the common difference, to the n minus 1. So now I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms. So my explicit formula is going to be 3n, and then I've got a negative 38 minus 3, which is going to be minus 41. So my explicit formula for this is going to be a sub n equals 3n minus 41.
okay, that's what I got.
Yay.
Is this quiz going to be for a quiz grade? Like, I know that kind of sounds like a dumb question, but
Oh, yeah, it is.
okay, good. And what about that pop quiz we had? Is that going to be a grade?
What I'm doing, actually, I think you did really well on it.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I felt pretty good.
And so, yeah, I'm definitely keeping it for all those people who would like to keep it for sure. But
Mhm.
and then I gave corrections to any of those people who didn't feel as comfortable with their grade. And I'm
Mhm.
kind of thinking about allowing them to say that I'll put this upcoming grade. This is obviously if anybody else hears this on Math Lab, but I don't know what Miss Stone's going to do, but I'm thinking about possibly allowing those people to let this count twice and it replace their old one.
Oh.
Because my ultimate goal is not to ever harm anybody.
Mhm.
It's just trying to figure out where people are to
Right.
get an idea and assess and feel like, as a teacher, I need to know what I need to emphasize on,
Oh yeah.
in
For sure.
class, and I can't really know that. Oftentimes, some people are so quiet about what their needs are that this
Mhm.
is really the only way to find out.
Right.
And I don't, it feels mean, but the intent is not mean. It's to figure out what people know.
Mhm. Yeah, because right now I think I have a 93 in your class. And I just wanted to bring that up a little bit. So
A little bit more into the comfort zone.
definitely. I need some wiggle room, you know.
I totally understand that comfort zone thing. I think you'll be able to do it because I don't even remember what you made the other day, but I felt like it was a pretty high A or 100. I don't even remember.
Okay.
I wish I could remember off the top of my head, but I do think I have it already in RenWeb if you want to check it.
What's it? 7.2 quiz, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I got a 95 on that.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty high.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't even remember what you missed. It was slight.
Oh.
And I think I also, yeah. I don't, but obviously it was slight, so it wouldn't be a 95 else, otherwise. But I'll hopefully if you get into class early enough tomorrow, I could maybe show it. I don't know. I feel like this review will be better because like I say, we made the quiz straight from this.
Right.
And I honestly, yeah. So I think you should be good to go. I thought this was a pretty good review, pretty easy.
Didn't you and Miss Stone say that we would be given the formulas?
Yes, what we're going to do is give everybody an opportunity to write them down in the first 5 minutes of class themselves, and we'll go around and check them. And if you were able to know them yourself, you would get bonus for it. And then if not, we're going to write them on the board.
Okay.
So it's a bonus opportunity to know them.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You're not going to be held, like it's not going to go against you if you don't know them. It's only going to go a little bit for you if you do.
Okay. Yeah, I feel good about the arithmetic one, but the geometric one is just long and tedious.
Yeah. I think maybe if we talk it out today, it might stick with you.
Okay.
So
I'm good with that.
we'll try to get to that. I mean, for sure. Okay, so find the formula and then the listed term. So once again, what I'm going to do is find the common difference by subtracting the second term from the first, or the first term from the second.
It's -3, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So the common difference is going to be -3. I'm going to write that up here. And then what I'm going to do is plug in my formula, which is AN, and then that first term, which is 22 here, plus, and then I've got a -3 times n minus 1, which is going to be 22 plus -3n plus 3. So my explicit formula is going to be -3n plus 35. Because I've got to combine 25.
Not to be rude, but I already completed the problem.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I just really understand the arithmetic.
Okay. All right.
Pretty well.
Not a problem. So you're feeling that's not rude at all.
Okay.
That's why that was one of the reasons I asked at the onset if you wanted me to start at the bottom and work my way forward, just so that we could get to the most important part for you.
Yeah, that's okay. We could go on to geometric because I understand.
Do you feel pretty good then about 11, 12, and 13?
Can we do 11 just in case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I can. And you're never rude by telling me exactly what you need in math lab. I prefer it.
Okay.
But you're sweet for being so thoughtful.
I just didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, yeah, you're sweet for being so thoughtful. Okay, so the summation is going to be S sub n times, and this was interesting. I've been playing with the calculator so much. You've got to get your first, or the list of terms, which is 45. Because I was just sitting, okay, what do I do? I was thinking about what you do to plug it into the calculator. 45, and then because that's the number of terms. So it's the number of terms as your first part. And then what the value of the terms inside the parentheses. So the value of the first one, which is going to be 2n minus 1 minus 9 with plugging in. So 2 times 1 minus n. So that's going to be negative 7.
Mm-hmm.
So negative 7. And the value, if you plugged in 45, which is going to be 81, because if I plug that in, I'm going to have 90 minus 9, which is 81.
Mm-hmm.
And then that all over 2, which that's going to be 74 over 2 times 45. And then that's going to be 45. His story. 45 times 37, so it's 1,665.
Okay. Whenever we get big numbers, it always psychs me out. Because I'm like, no, that's not supposed to happen. It can be simplified, but it's supposed to be that way.
Yes, I know. It's crazy. Did I attach the answer sheet for this one?
Um, I didn't see it, but I can check.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure you get all the answers if I didn't, to double check even the ones you've done.
No, it's not
Okay.
on the classroom.
Okay. Well, I have them all down here. So we'll make sure that you get those checked. But just so that you know, number 11,
Mm-hmm.
the answer was what we just did, which is 1665.
Mm-hmm.
And then have you worked out 12?
Not quite yet.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the answer is. So
Okay.
it's this. And then we'll come back to these if we have time. But I just want to make sure that we hit the geometric series. But here are
Okay.
the answers to those three, just so that you have them, so that when you work them out, you know what you're going toward.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
And then that way, I mean, if I would like to go ahead and work them out, but I'm just worried about time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still have an entire lit research paper to edit by tomorrow, so.
Yeah, yay.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. So finding the common ratio on that, you're going to take the second term and then divide the first term. So it's the common ratio is going to be 3. For number 15, take the second term, divide it by the first term. Common ratio is 6. Take the second term, divide it by the first term. Common ratio is negative 5. Take the second term and divide it by the first term. Common ratio is 6.
Okay.
Those are pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now this one, give the next 3, we're talking about big numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to this one. Okay. The common ratio for this one, you've got to do that before you find the next few numbers. So 9 divided by negative 3 means the common ratio is going to be negative 6. So the next 3 terms, you're going to take 81, multiply it by negative 6, and you're going to get negative 243. Then you're going to take a negative 243, multiply it by a negative 6, and you're going to get a
Wait,
positive 729.
you said 81 times negative 6?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
No,
Let
no,
me.
no, no. I'm sorry. It's not negative 6. I'm
Okay.
sorry. It's negative 3.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I apologize. I apologize. I was
Okay.
looking at my 6 up here and probably saying that. I
It's
apologize.
okay.
No, it's 81 times a negative 3, which is negative 243. And then a negative 243 times a negative 3, and it's a positive 729. And then a positive 729 times a negative 3 is going to give you a negative 2,187.
Got it. Can I try the next one on my own?
Please.
Okay. Okay, so is it negative 512, positive 2048, and negative 8192?
It is. You absolutely got it correct.
Oh no, fractions.
On number 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Okay.
Okay. For that one, to find the common ratio, what you're going to want to do is take the second term, which is 5 over 2, and divide it by the first term. Well, that's a complex fraction, and so how we'll treat that is under this, that's for the 5 halves divided by the -5 is the same exact thing as multiplying by a -1/5. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then I'm going to simplify before I multiply. So I've got a -1/2 as my common ratio.
Okay.
Okay. So you ready for how easy this is? That was the worst part of the problem because
Okay.
all you do now is plug in the first term, the common ratio, and raise it to n-1.
Oh, right, raised to n-1.
And you're done.
Okay.
So basically for the geometric, let's talk about this and think this through. So for the geometric, a sub n, it's the first term times the ratio raised to n-1 for your formula. Because we were talking about formulas earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it is. You don't simplify it any more than that. You don't have to do any combining like terms or any of that stuff.
Okay.
It's just that simple because all we did was find the common ratio when we were done. So if you look at this one, the common ratio is going to be 6. So basically what you're going to write down then is a sub n, your first term, which is -4, times 6 raised to n-1, and you're done.
Okay.
So granted, finding the common ratio for number 22 wasn't, a walk in the park or anything. But once you find that, it's pretty easy after that.
Okay.
Because it's simply plugging in. Okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
I was wondering if we could go back to, hold on. There we go, to number 20, because I got like super huge numbers and I'm just making sure I was right.
Sure.
Is it negative 1,296, negative 7,776, and negative 46,656?
That is absolutely correct.
Okay.
So now, see, we found the formula. So now we're going to find the term named in the problem. So on this one, what you're going to want to do is, since we already know the formula, which I'm going to write down again, is a sub n, and then a to the first times r raised to the n-1. So for this particular problem, it's asking us to find a to the 10th. So we'll just say a to the 10th equals the first term, which is 1, times the ratio, and the ratio is 2 divided by 1, which is 2, raised to n-1. What's n-1 here?
9.
9. So it's 1 times 2 raised to the 9th power, which is 512. So a sub 10 is 512.
Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense.
All right. Now, for the summations. I did number 24 in class yesterday, but it's the one with the horrible fraction that made people want to weep.
Right.
Would you like me to do it again for you?
Yes, because I was
Weeping?
honestly not watching.
Because it made you want to cry?
Yes. So I choose not to watch.
I love you. Ah. Okay. So the summation is the first term, which is negative 32 in this case, open parentheses, 1 minus the ratio. What's the ratio here?
Is that negative 1/2?
It is negative 1/2. The ratio raised to the how far that you want to go, which is the in this case it's just going to be that top number. So 7, like the number of terms in the series. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then 1 minus the ratio again on the bottom. So the formula, if you're just trying to think about it so that you can remember it, is as far as the parentheses, which you felt, I think that's the part that you feel like might be the hardest part, maybe. It's 1 minus the ratio raised to the number of numbers in the series
Mm-hmm.
over 1 minus just the ratio,
Okay.
as far as trying to remember it. And I'll rewrite it too. But
Okay.
all right, now here we've got negative 32, and then 1 minus negative 1/2 raised to the 7th power is negative 1 over 128. And then this down here, I'm not going to rewrite that. 1 minus 1/2 is a positive 3/2. So now what I've got is negative 32. And 1 minus a minus 1 over 128. 1, in this case, we would want to have it as a common denominator. 1 is the same thing as 128 over 128.
Mm-hmm.
And 128 plus 1 is going to be 129 over 128. And then that's all over 3/2.
Okay, wait. Explain the top half again,
Okay.
please.
In order to subtract this fraction right here,
Mm-hmm.
1 minus a minus 128. Actually, I'm adding, but I have to change the 1 into this because I have to have a common denominator.
Mm-hmm.
And minus a minus 1 over 28 is the same thing as 1 over 128.
True.
Right?
Right.
So I'm just going to make it that now.
Oh, for when you combine them. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's just ugly numbers.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. Nobody likes numbers like that.
I just don't like fractions. I hate fractions so much.
I know Sam in the background was like, "Oh, that's not even a real number, Miss Sparks."
I know.
Oh, that was great. So now what we have is 129 over 128. And this right here means it's divided by 3/2, which is the same thing as multiplying by 2/3. And now we're going to simplify before we multiply because we want to get those ugly numbers down as much as we possibly can. So 3 actually goes into 129 43 times. And 2 goes into 128 64 times. So now I've got 32, technically over 1 since I'm going to be multiplying by a fraction, times 43 over 64. This cancels. Oops, my bad. So 32 goes into 32 negative 1 times. 32 goes into 64 2 times. Negative 1 times 43 is negative 43. And 1 times 2 is 2. So the sum is negative 43 over 2.
Okay. I understand. I just don't like it, but I understand.
I appreciate your honesty. I don't think there's one on the quiz
Oh,
that is
thank
a
goodness.
fraction. But the thing about it is, Miss Stone and I both agree that we kind of have to keep fractions in the classwork, if at all possible, to keep you all as fraction friendly as we possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of fractions in pre-calc.
I just wish I had known all of this before I took the SAT, because I took the SAT like the beginning of January. No, I took the ACT and I took the SAT before that. And questions like this, I'm sure were on there. I just had no idea what to do. So I was like, I think C looks like a plausible answer. Let's circle C. And that happened.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
would definitely say taking the SAT for the first time is always the best after Algebra 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, after pre-calc is even better, but or even midway through pre-calc is even better, but
Mm-hmm.
Algebra 2 at least.
Well, I was trying to get into dual enrollment next,
Oh, baby girl. I didn't
but
think about that, but yes.
well, I was trying to do that. And then the first time with the SAT, I didn't have enough math points. I was just like barely enough points away. So I was like, oh. Then we took the ACT and they lost the like the answers and like my score and stuff. They lost it in the mail. So they lost everybody's, not just mine, like everyone's.
Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
it was on the news. So we just took that as a sign that dual enrollment isn't supposed to be my thing next year. So
Oh, sweet girl.
yeah, it's
Oh,
okay. I mean, on the bright side, I didn't really want to dual enroll next year. I wanted to wait till senior year because I hear junior year is difficult enough as it is. So
it's a humdinger.
mm, yeah, that's what I hear.
But um, I don't know. I guess it almost feels like a rite of passage now. Um, anyway, number 25, I'm kind of glad. Oh my. Oh gosh. Oh, the killer is up. It's no longer snoring. Hold on real quick. Sorry.
That's
I
fine.
think it's just like UPS or something, but let me confirm. Oh, hush, buddy. It's just your dog food. Aren't you excited? Okay. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Anyway, 25 is kind of a humdinger, so I'm kind of glad we're going to go over it.
Okay.
It's actually worse than 24. It's not really.
Oh.
But I want to explain something to you. I don't remember, and I'm going to double check the quiz to warn you guys. But that -4 there
Mhm.
is not really like I did the whole problem assuming that the -4 was the common ratio, and
Mhm.
that is not in fact the case. So if it were the common ratio, it would be in parentheses. That -4 is this problem would have been better written this way. N equals 1, -1 times 4,
Oh.
n minus 1.
Oh no.
Yes.
No.
Yes. So that's what I thought after I worked it out the other way. So let's just take it one step at a time and move you through that.
Mhm.
So it's going to look like this: -1 times 1 minus 4 raised to the 10th power all over 1 minus 4. Once again, just to kind of go over that formula again so that it'll stick in your mind, the summation formula for a geometric series is the first term, in this case, -1, times, in parentheses, 1 minus the common ratio raised to the number of numbers in the sequence or the series, okay, all over 1 minus the common ratio.
Okay.
So then this is going to be, this number is like, whoo, 1048576 all over -3. So then that's -1. And then this is going to be -1048575 all over -3. And then this is going to be 349,525 times -1, which makes that a -349,525. And that makes
terrible.
No, it was not terrible.
It's just a little weird to figure out.
Yes, because I did the whole thing the first time with the -4 raised to the 10th power, and that changes everything and the number, because you get a much smaller number, because then your bottom, because if you figure it, you've got a 1 minus a -4, that's going to be 5. So it's a much smaller number and not negative. So, you know, that it was kind of squirrely written, but I guess it's a good thing to know that if there's if that common ratio isn't in parentheses with a negative in it, you know, it makes a bit of a difference. So, all right, I'm going to have you talk me through setting up number 26.
Okay.
Just so that I feel, you know, you're comfortable with doing it. Let's talk it out together. So the sum is, what's the first thing I write down?
1 sec. There we go. I was like a couple of steps ahead of you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, so it's, yeah, Sn equals, so 3 would be the first number, right? Okay. Open parentheses, 1 minus a little mini open parentheses, -3.
Yes.
Close the mini parentheses, and then raise that to 8.
Perfect.
Over 1 plus 3, so 4.
Good job.
Close parentheses. And then Sn equals 3, open parentheses, 6,562 over 4.
What did you get -3 raised to the 8 as?
Oh, wait a sec. I think I did that wrong.
Because that's going to end up being a positive number.
Yeah, I got that wrong because I didn't put the parentheses.
Yes.
It's positive. Wait. So it would be a negative 6,560.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. That's it. Yeah, all those parentheses, they're squirrely. They're going to get you. Because this -3 raised to the 8th power is going to end up being a positive number, because a negative number raised to an exponent, if the exponent is even, it's going to be positive. If the exponent is odd, it's going to be negative.
Got it. And then where were we? Okay, and then the inside the parentheses, all that's going to equal -1,640.
Good job.
And then once multiplied together, that's -4,920.
You did it.
That's Yay.
It. Yes. And you even understood the formula just fine.
I did.
Yes.
Okay, good. I think the only ones you didn't finish were the ones you already gave me the answer to, so I got that.
Okay. And I was going to say, if you want me to work them out, I will, just to, we can talk about it just to kind of differentiate from the um, formulas, or you can move on with your day. You're the
Um,
boss.
well, I just worked out number 12 and I got the right answer for that, so I think I'm on track.
Okay. Then
Okay.
I will let you go on with your day if you
Okay,
don't need
thank
me
you.
anymore.
No,
Not a
this is good.
problem. Okay.
I understand.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
You have a blessed rest of the day.
Oh, question.
Yes.
With the worksheets that you handed out, because I'm pretty sure I did all of them.
hmm I just,
Um,
I just need one or two of them just to kind of show me, here's my work. This is what I'm doing.
okay. I have
It's
two.
really, in for the most part, you
Hmm.
know, I never know who's going to listen to Math Lab, but for the most part, I really do understand that you work. It's really just an accountability thing.
Okay.
I got you. I know how hard you work.
Okay, good. I have two of them done, so
I have no doubts about that.
okay, good.
And you understand what you're doing and
Hmm.
you feel good. That's the part that's most important to me.
Yes, I understand now. Now I get it.
Well, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, me too, trust me.
Yes. You're going to do great.
Thank you.
You have a blessed afternoon.
You too, thanks.
Bye bye.